Hello.
Hi.
Hello?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, you're audible.
Okay, okay. So, shall we start?
Yeah, I guess we can start. Miss Vaishnavi, are you there?
yes, I am. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we can start.
So, hi Vaishnavi, my name is Akansha.
Hi, Akanksha.
Yeah, and I have done C1 till in German language, and since last year I've been teaching. Okay, so may I know why do you want to learn German language?
So I'm looking for an employment over there. I have completed my A1 from Goethe in 2018, but
Okay,
since it's been a very long time, I just want to
yeah,
brush up A1 and complete it till at least B2 for the
okay,
B2. Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. That's very great that you have completed A1. So
Hmm.
just you have to brush up now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me start with the presentation.
Hmm.
Okay. So, as you have already done the A1 level, so I consider that you know some rules of learning any foreign language. Okay, like you don't have to do a literal translation of any language. Yeah, because sometimes what is the problem? The problem is that when you do a literal translation, so you don't follow the grammar rule of that language. So it creates
Right.
problem.
Hmm.
Yeah. And the second thing is that whenever you learn language, at initial level, try to mimic the language because it makes easy to understand the language. Okay.
Hmm.
So first of all, try to mimic the language. Then slowly or gradually you will understand the concept, and then you are able to make sentences and able to speak. So at initial level, you have to mimic and learn with flexible things. Like be flexible with yourself. Don't be rigid that you have to learn the language in any possible ways because language is like a very uh, how can I say the slow process. It takes time. Okay,
Hmm.
in one go you will never learn any language. And I will suggest you that always learn a foreign language from your first language. Okay,
Hmm.
so I assume that your first language is Hindi.
It's Marathi, but yeah, Hindi I'm always
Yeah,
comfortable with.
yeah. Okay. So Marathi is all, yeah, Marathi is that from Hindi only.
Yeah.
So we can say that, yeah. And yes, language takes time. It will
Hmm.
not, the thing that if you take a one level and you are like fluent, you can speak like a native speaker. So these are some basic rule you have to keep in mind when you learn any language. Okay. So for you, we will brush up some sounds of alphabet. As you know, we have similar alphabet as in English. We have this, na A to Z.
Right.
Yeah. So as you have done already the A1 level, so can you pronounce it?
Yeah,
All
sure.
the alphabet. Yeah.
Sure. It's A, B, C,
Hmm.
D, E,
Hmm. Hmm.
F, G, H,
Hmm. Hmm.
E,
Hmm.
J,
Yeah.
K,
Hmm.
L,
Hmm.
M, N,
Hmm.
O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W,
Yeah.
X,
Very good.
um,
Epsilon.
Z,
Yeah.
A
Sehr
umlaut,
gut. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
umlaut,
Yeah. It's a A umlaut, but what is the sound of the A umlaut? It is pretty much similar with E.
A,
English A, na?
yeah,
Yeah.
A. Then it's O umlaut, and that would be O. The sound
Oi.
would be O.
Oi.
O, yeah.
Yeah.
It's U, right? And
Hmm.
S.
You. And this is S set. This S set refers to double S. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So I want to ask you in A1 that which is the topic you find difficult?
Honestly, it's been 3 years now. So I would say if even if we go from the basics, it's fine. Like
Okay,
I know
okay,
the numbers, and the
okay.
alphabet. I
Mm-hmm.
remember them,
Okay.
and some of grammar, but it's been very long. So yeah, I might have forgotten. I've not been able to brush it up.
Okay, so may I ask that you are like know the conjugation thing that we have endings in German language according to each and every pronoun?
I don't remember that.
Okay, okay, then let me start with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, now in this page, I am comparing two languages. This is Hindi and German. So why this is the reason I am comparing? So reason is that the Hindi grammar and German grammar are pretty much similar with each other. I will say in every concept, Hindi and German grammar is similar. For example, Hindi, how will say, ये मेरा पेन है. Okay, mera pen. For the pen, we are using mera. And if I want to say this is my notebook in Hindi, then I'll say ये मेरी किताब है. Okay.
Mhm.
So see, you are seeing the difference ki with each and every noun we are using different possessive pronouns. Like with pen, I am using mera, and with kitab, I am using meri. Okay,
Mhm.
so you are seeing here the gender difference. Mera and meri, na? Mera in Hindi is for the male and meri is for the female. So this
Mhm.
same thing we follow in German language. For example, if I want to say my bag, so my bag in German language is meine Tasche.
Mhm.
Okay, meine Tasche. That will be feminine.
Right.
Okay, okay. Just let me move this here. Yeah. So see, this is minor, no? That feminine thing. Minor Tasche. And if I want to say my book in German, then I will say mein Buch. Mein Buch is neutral in German. So I will say mein Buch. Okay, I will not say meine book. That will be wrong according to German grammar. Because in German grammar, we always prefer gender differentiation. Okay, we have particular genders for each and everything. The second
Mhm.
similarity is that of formal and informal thing. In Hindi, how we refer for the formal conversation and to our elders, we say na
Mhm.
आप ये कर दीजिए, okay? And then for informal, we say तुम.
Yeah.
And this same concept we have in German language also. For aap, we use Z with capital S. Okay?
Mhm.
Always remember that Z with capital S. Then for informal conversation, we use in German du.
Mhm.
Okay, so as you can see, these concepts are also similar.
Mhm.
Then the numbers are also similar. The concept of number, learning numbers are also similar in Hindi and German. So for example, here is number 34. Okay. In English, how you are saying 34. So we are saying first place 30 and then second place 4. But that rule is not applied in German language. So in German language, how we are saying, so first we will do from the Hindi. So this is 34. 34 in Hindi is 34. Okay. So now see, when we are pronouncing this word, we are referring at first place cho. Cho basically refers char. Okay.
Mhm.
And then we are saying at second place 30. Okay. So जो number चल रहा है 30th वाला वो that comes at the end. Okay.
Mhm.
So this basic rule we follow in German also. So how we say in German, if we want to say 34, we will say 34. We will first say this number, fear, and then we will add one thing. This is the differentiation, und,
Mhm.
and then we will say 30. Okay. So this
Right.
concept is also similar with Hindi, na? So you can
Yeah.
very much relate the Hindi concept with the German. And the most important concept which will help you to learn German language, or I will say German conjugations.
Mhm.
So that is of the verb. Okay. So here I have written some verbs in Hindi. Like basically this is I have written in English, but yeah.
Yeah.
Jana, khana, bhagna, and pina. So could you please tell me that what is the common in these verbs? What is the thing which is common?
Yeah. So that you highlighted as in
Yeah,
na, right?
the ending. All the
Mhm.
endings are like na, 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 na. Yeah.
Mhm.
So now see, these endings are common. So whenever we want to conjugate, according to the pronouns, you know, I, you,
Mhm.
we, yeah. So whenever we want to conjugate a verb, we have to remove this ending, na, from each verb. Okay. So if
Mhm.
I want to say in Hindi, like for let's take this example of jana. Okay. If I want to say with main, so
Mhm.
how I will say main jati hu. So
Mhm.
now see here the conjugation with main. So what I have done here, I have removed this na, the ending part, yeah, and I have left with the ja. And when I am saying this ja with pronoun मैं, I am adding the ending t. Okay,
Mhm.
so I will say मैं जाती हूँ. I will not say that मैं जाना है. Okay,
Mhm.
see, it's sounding very odd in Hindi. So
Right.
this same concept we follow in German language. It's very easy to learn if you learn this concept from Hindi, because in
Mhm.
our daily language we always use ना मैं जाती हूँ, या मैं अगर आपको रेफर करूँ तो how will I say तुम जाती हो. Okay, again the ending is changing here, na has removed and t is added according to the pronoun is tum. Okay, so the same concept we follow in German language. Again now we have this verbs. Please read these verbs.
Kaufen, singen,
Kaufen, kaufen.
kaufen,
Yeah.
kaufen, singen,
Hmm.
essen, laufen.
Yeah. And now again the common thing is here this every verb has an ending, common ending, en. Okay.
Mhm.
So the same thing we will do in this. Now we will see one by one. So first let me introduce with the pronouns. What are the pronouns in German language? Okay. So first we have ich. Okay. You can read, yeah. You have done even now. So yeah. Please read this.
Ja, ich,
Hmm.
du,
Yeah.
er, es, sie,
Yeah.
wir,
Hmm.
ihr,
Hmm.
sie, sie.
Hmm. Yeah. This is very much clear to you, na?
Ja.
Yeah. So these are the personal pronomen in German language. Okay.
Mhm.
So with these personal pronomen, we conjugate verbs according to these pronomen. Okay. We
Mhm.
have some specific rules. Now the next slide is of that only. Yeah. Verb conjugation. So I
Mhm.
have taken an example here. Trinken. Trinken is to drink.
Right.
So if I remove en here, we will left with the stem verb. Stem verb is the origin of the verb. Okay, that is
Mhm.
drink. So now we will conjugate the verb drink only. Okay, we will not conjugate trinken. We will only conjugate drink because we have removed en. Whenever you want to do conjugation, you have to remove the en from the main verb. Okay,
Mhm.
and then you are left with the stem verb. Then you have to conjugate stem verb according to the pronomens. So
Okay.
for example, so every pronouns have different ending. For example, ish have e, do have st, er sz have t, wear have en, ear t, z and z. Okay, sorry for this. It's a small z. Yeah,
Mhm.
en and en. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you little bit remember na conjugations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so these are the things. So see, this thing we have in Hindi also na, मैं जाती हूँ. And
Mhm.
what I have done here is trinker. I have removed en and I add one ending e according to the pronoun. So I will say ich trinker. If I want to say I drink in German, then I will say ich trinker. If I
Mhm.
want to say you drink in German, then I will say du trinkst. Okay?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you relating with this thing? Hindi
Yes.
and German. Now it is very much clear to you, and I will think that you will remember this concept.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now moving further. So now we have, as a beginner, I will only tell my students that there is a sentence structure which follows subject, verb, and object.
Mhm.
Okay. This we have in English also. But in German, we have little bit of differentiation. We will do this thing when you will take classes. Okay.
Mhm.
That is a pretty complex thing. So what I will say, subject, verb and object is the sentence structure in German language. For example, ich esse einen Apfel. Okay, this is the subject. Then esse, why esse? Because I conjugated esse according to the pronoun. I haven't written here essen.
Mhm.
Okay. Ich esse einen Apfel. I eat a apple. So the rule here to remember is that in German, always verb will always be at second position. Okay.
Mhm.
This you have to remember always. That verb will never go anywhere. It will be always at the second position. Any subject or object you can remove from here to there, but verb will not be removed. This is the fixed place for the verb. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now after this, I will. So, do you remember your Vorstellen? Like ich heiße
Yeah.
und ich komme aus. So, could you please tell me?
Yeah. So ich heiße Vaishnavi, ich komme aus Pune.
Okay.
Und what do you want? So ich wohne in Hadapsar.
Okay. Yeah. And next age or birthday you want to say?
Ja, so ich bin 27 Jahre alt.
Okay. Sehr gut.
Sorry,
Sehr gut.
26 Jahre alt.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
So
it's okay.
ich bin, ich bin Lehrerin.
Yeah.
Ich bin
Yeah. You are
Lehrerin.
currently working?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So, teacher.
No.
Okay. Then.
So I'm a software engineer.
Yeah, you can
So
say ich bin software
software
in.
engineer von Beruf. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Meine Muttersprache ist Marathi.
Ja,
Ich
sehr gut.
spreche Hindi,
Ich
Englisch und
spreche,
ich spreche,
speak. Ja.
ich spreche Hindi, Marathi und Englisch und
Hm.
eine bisschen Deutsch.
Ein bisschen Deutsch. Einer nicht.
Ein
Ein bisschen.
bisschen Deutsch.
Hm. Okay. Okay. Sehr gut. Okay. So let me have a conversation with you. So the some
Mhm.
concept will be brushing up. So for example, if I will ask, wie geht es Ihnen?
Uh, I don't remember that.
Ja, mir geht es gut.
Mir geht es gut, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let me do one more thing for you. So now I will make you understand the different topic as you have already done the A1. Just give me a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have this very important topic in A1. Na? This is the main topic of A1, I will say. The cases. If you remember, nominative, dative, accusative.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. This you find pretty difficult in beginner level.
Right. I
Why
had,
we the why we yeah.
yeah, I had missed some of these classes also actually.
Okay. Now in this demo you will be like you will I will assure you that you will have no doubts. But yeah. Okay. So what are the cases? Okay. So here I have written the cases shows the function of the noun in the sentence. Now you will see that this is a different concept for you as you haven't learned German. Okay. So why we use these cases in German language? Why they are there? Why we have so many cases? Nominative, accusative, dative. It's very confusing. We have different articles, different nouns, different pronouns. Sorry. So now I will make you understand this topic very easily. So please give me your 2 minutes. So yeah, what are the cases? Cases basically the role of cases is to identify the noun in each sentence. Okay. In a sentence we have different nouns. So what is the role of that noun? To identify that role of the noun we need cases in German language. Okay. So this I have written here. in a sentence we have many different nouns. To identify the role or function of the noun, for that we have a cases in German language. So what are the cases we have in German language? First is nominative, then accusative, then dative and genitive. Okay, so genitive you haven't done in A1, so we will not learn this case in this PPT. We will do only nominative, accusative and dative. So first we go with nominative case. So always remember that nominative case is the subject of the sentence. Okay, and what is the subject of the sentence? The subject of the sentence is that which conjugates the verb. Okay, like ish, do, er, z. Yeah, we conjugate verbs according to these pronoun na. So these all pronouns are nominative because these pronouns behave as the subject of the verb. Okay, so in a sentence always the subject is nominative case. Okay, so how will you identify if you have so many nouns in a sentence? So how will you identify that which noun is nominative case? Okay, so then you have to ask the question to the verb. Okay, where oder was. Wer bedeutet who and was bedeutet what. Okay, so for example, we have the sentence the student reads a poem. Now I will ask the verb. Okay, who reads the poem? So can you tell me the answer? Who reads the poem?
The student.
Yeah. So here the student is subject, and I have just now I told you that subject is always equals to nominative case. So the student will be your
Nominative.
yeah. Then this sentence I will translate in German. Der Student liest ein Gedicht. Okay, so I will ask wer liest? The Antwort is der Student. Okay, so now we have second example. His small apartment was renovated. Okay, sorry. So this in German language is seine kleine Wohnung wurde renoviert. So this verb you have to don't focus on this right now because this is a I will say B1 grammar. But focus on his small apartment. If I will ask here a question according to the verb, so what is renovated? Vaishnavi, can you tell me what
Apartment.
is renovated? His small apartment, na?
Yeah.
You can say his small apartment, whole thing. Okay. So here you ask the verb. Verb is renovated. You ask to the verb, what is renovated? The answer has come that his small apartment. So then his small apartment is the whole one entity. So his small apartment will your subject, will become your subject. Okay. So same thing in German language also. Seine kleine Wohnung wurde renoviert. Was renoviert? So then you will say seine kleine Wohnung. So seine kleine Wohnung will be your nominative case. Now here seine kleine Wohnung is one entity. It's not a different thing. Okay. See why it is a one entity. Now see apartment. His small apartment. अब apartment किसका है? His का और कैसा है? Small है. So basically his and small are referring to apartment only. Na?
Yeah.
It's not a different I can say a different thing in the sentence which is like have coming with the different meaning.
Right.
Yeah, so this whole thing will be your nominative case because this whole thing represent only this noun. Okay, yeah. Then we have so different forms of nominative. Then we have different forms of nominative. So what do I mean here? Like explicit and direct person. So you have whenever you have in a sentence a explicit or direct person, for example, the mother, the father, the person, the man, the child. This is a direct person addressing in the subject, addressing in the sentence now. So these direct person will be always your nominative. Okay, because these direct person will be doing action. So the thing which is doing, also the noun which is doing the action will always your nominative. Then you have personal pronouns. So nominative have their personal pronouns. Okay. So we will do with the next slide. And then we have nominal group. Okay. So nominal group is this. Now we have just done seine, kleine Wohnung. We will call it a nominal group. Okay. Like mein neues Handy ist kaputt. My new handy, sorry, my new phone is broken. Okay, so what the my and new is referring to the phone only. So you will call this thing a nominal group. This is a group. Okay, a group of what? Adjective or pronoun. Okay, this is your pronoun and new is your adjective. My new. Okay, so yeah. So now these are the pronouns. Whenever you see these things, these pronoun in a sentence of German language, so you automatically understand that these are the nominative in the in the sentence. Ich, du, er, es, sie, wir, ihr, sie. Okay. And now the second differentiation of nominative case is the articles. Whenever you see these articles of nominative, der, die, das, ein, einer, ein, kein, keiner, kein, this is a negative article. Okay. We have these basics articles, na? There, the, das you have learned.
Yeah.
There is masculine, these feminine, das. Whenever you have these article in the sentence, okay, then the noun with this article will be nominative because the article is always nominative. Okay.
Right.
These come with the accusative noun or dative noun. Okay, now the second thing. Okay, this is nominative here done. Yeah. Now we have some specific verbs in nominative. Whenever these verb comes, you will like automatically understand that yeah, we have the subject or the noun is nominative. The verbs are sein, werden, and heißen. Sein means to be. Okay. So, for example, if I am saying I am a doctor. So, a doctor. Okay, let me write here the sentence. I am a doctor. Here, this I am is in German is sein. If I am saying I'm a doctor, I am a doctor. So doctor कौन है? मैं doctor हूँ. This I is basically referring to the doctor. Yeah, and this doctor is referring to this I only. So you cannot say here that this I is a subject and a doctor is an object. No. Why? Because this a doctor is referring to I only. Okay, this is not a different subject, sorry, different noun here. Okay. So yeah, when this kind of verb comes, so you have to understand that these verbs are nominative. So I want to say, like in German, I will say ich bin. Okay. Ich bin ein Ärztin. This ich bin and bin is a conjugated verb of sein. Ich bin, du bist, er ist, sie ist. Yeah, if you remember. So yeah, that's why this verb is not, because it's referring to Ärztin only. This Ärztin is not a different identity here in the sentence. It's not giving the different meaning. If I will ask you who is the doctor, the answer will be ish only, na?
Yes.
So this, these are equals to, ish is equals to Ärztin. So that's why sein is a nominative verb. Okay. So whenever you use sein, so automatically understand that this is a nominative sentence. Now we have werden. Werden means to become. Okay. If I am saying I am becoming a doctor, so who is becoming a doctor?
I.
Yeah. So again the same thing. I and doctor is are referring to one only. Okay. Each other they are referring. So that's why werden, which means to become, it's a nominative. verb. Then heißen. Heißen is very particular. Ich heiße Akansha. So Akansha and ish is equals to.
Right.
Okay. You cannot use here any different noun with different meaning. Okay. You always say ich heiße Akansha. Du heißt Vaishnavi. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do we use these particular sentences word into the sentence like sein and werden?
Yeah. If you want to say I want to become doctor, so how will you say ich werde?
Asden,
Yeah.
werden.
Yeah. So yeah, these verb we use ना ich bin, ich heiße और werden भी हम use करते हैं. So these are the, how will I say, these are the pointers. If you learn these pointers, you will easily identify the nominative case in the sentence. Okay. So what we have learned in nominative case is always the subject of the sentence. Whenever the subject we have in the sentence, then automatically understand that it is a nominative case. Then we have learned some different articles. Okay. If these particular article comes in a sentence, then these nouns will be nominative. Then we have learned particular pronomen ish, do, eres, ze. Okay. When these pronomen will come in sentence, then again they will be nominative. Then we have learned particular verbs. If these verb will be there in the sentence, so understand that noun, any noun in there will be nominative. Okay. Okay. So shall I go with the accusative case, or it
Yeah.
is like overwhelming for you?
No, that's okay now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we have accusative case. Now what is accusative? Now we have done with the subject. Now we need a case which identify the object also, na?
Yeah.
So for that we have accusative case in German language. Accusative is always the direct object of the sentence. Okay. Accusative is used when we have two people, or we can say two things in a sentence. Okay. So, for example, ich kaufe ein Buch. I buy a book.
Right.
So, ish, you know, now you can understand now what is ish?
Yeah. Sorry.
Nominative. ठीक
Yeah.
है? Then,
I
yeah,
thought you were
nominative na
asking me
ish.
questions. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Then we have ish. We are done with the ish. Kaufe is verb. Now we have one more extra noun in the sentence. Ein Buch. So what is the role of this noun in the sentence? Now we will identify this with the accusative case. Okay. So now here you have to ask to the verb. Okay. Again, we have the question. So this second thing in a sentence will be your direct object. Okay. So I will say, what ich kaufe ein Buch. So what ich kaufe, was kaufe ich? So answer will be ein Buch. So answer of was kaufa ish, that is ein Buch. तो जो आंसर आएगा वो होगा आपका डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट, एंड डायरेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट इज ऑलवेज इक्वल्स टू accusative in German language. Accusative case. Okay. For example, we have next sentence. Das Kind sieht einen Hund. The kind, or we can say the child, sees the, or we can say sees a dog. Okay.
Yeah.
So here you can see, now here see, we have this article na das, and we have just done with the nominative articles. So if we have read there na, there the das. So das has come here. So with das you can like automatically click in your mind that yeah, das has come. So yeah, this noun is nominative.
Right.
Okay. So we have some pretty examples here. Das Kind gibt mir einen laptop. We can say, I can remove from here mir for now. Das Kind gibt einen Laptop. The child gives the laptop, or a laptop. Okay, now I am moving to the next slide. So how you identify accusative in a sentence? Ask the sentence was or vain. Okay. Now here the questions are different. In nominative question are was or where. In accusative the question will be was or vain. Okay. Vain is for person and was is for things. If there is a thing in sentence, then you will ask was. And if there is a person, then you will ask vain. Okay. For example, ich kaufe ein Buch. So ein Buch is your thing. So now you will ask this sentence, was kaufe ich? Okay. What do I buy? Whenever you ask this sentence, what do I buy? So the answer which will come, that will be your accusative. Antworten will be your ein Buch. So ein Buch is accusative. Okay. Now again, we will come to the pointers, how we identify accusative. Again, we have this different sets of articles in accusative. Now you can understand why we have so many articles in German language. Now we have den, die, das. In nominative, we learn der, die, das. In accusative, we have den, die, das. So why we have? So that we can identify the noun in the sentence. Okay. If we have one set of articles, so we cannot identify. Okay, which cases? For example, what case have the noun? Okay, we have so many different nouns. So which case we have in the noun? So with these different articles, we can identify. If then will come, so then will goes to the accusative. If there will come, it will goes to the nominative case. Okay. Yeah. So again, we have articles den, die, das, einen, einer, ein, keinen, keiner, keine. Okay. Then we have again different pronomen. Why different pronomen? All again the same reason, to identify the noun. So in accusative, the pronomen will change ish into mish, du, dish, er, ihn, sie, es, wir, uns, ihr, euch, sie and sie. Okay, this you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now why we are not saying here in English, if see, here is the example. In English, if I want to say I love you, so how I will say? I love you, na? I will hear love and you. We just learned that du is you. But in German, we will say ich liebe dich. Why that is? This is because if we say ich liebe du, then it will be like two nominatives in a sentence. And that is not the case in the German language. We cannot use two nominatives. How can be two nominatives in the sentence, na? Because nominative is always equals to the subject. So we have two subjects in the sentence, ich and du. So we cannot say ich liebe du. We have to say ich liebe dich. Okay, ich liebe dich. Now here you can easily differentiate. Na, ich is subject and dish is coming. So this is accusative and this is direct object. Okay, yeah. So this is the thing why we are not using do here.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, then we have different sets of pronomen. Then we have, okay, yeah, possessive articles. So possessive articles will be overwhelming for you. I will skip this. Just keep it till there. Now, why we one more point we have more freedom of the word placement. Okay. In initial part we have learned a subject, verb, object, the sentence structure. So what do I mean here? More freedom of word placement. So here I mean that, for example, let's do this example. Frage is, was macht der Mann? What is the man doing? Okay, the Antwort is, schreibt einen Brief. Okay. So can you able to understand this sentence?
Yes. So schreibt is writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He writes
Brief.
a letter.
Letter. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now see, if I write this sentence like einen Brief schreibt er. So did you find this sentence weird or odd? I can say.
Mm-hmm. Like,
Why? Because we have, how can I say, we are embedded ourselves with the English
yeah.
concept.
Hello?
So we are
Yeah.
finding this thing. We have just learned the nominative and accusative cases. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. So in that we have learned different pronouns and different articles. Accusative have different pronouns and different articles. Nominative have different. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have particular different articles and pronoun, it doesn't matter whether you write subject at first place or at the or at the end of the sentence, because you know if the pronoun is ish, do, er, es, and z, you will identify that it is a nominative case,
Mm-hmm.
and if the noun has article einen, eine, or ein, which is
Mm-hmm.
of accusative, then you will identify, okay, this noun have this article, then this is accusative, and this will be the object of the sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter where you write in the sentence. Okay, the
Right.
matter what matters is that verb will always be at second place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, I have write einen brief at the first place and schreibt will be remain at the second place. We don't change the position of verb. This will be at second place, and
Mm-hmm.
er goes it to the end.
Right.
Okay, but it doesn't change the meaning. Like a letter writes he. This is
Uh-huh.
not the meaning. The meaning will be the same. He writes the letter, because who is the subject? Er, and er is nominative. I told you already. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, whether it doesn't matter, na. Er, if I write here or here, he, it will remain the subject. It will not become object.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the meaning of more freedom of word placement. So you can place the word anywhere.
Okay.
Okay, so you have learned these kinds of sentences in German language, why we have these kinds of sentences. Now you are able
Mm-hmm.
to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these both sentences have same meaning. He writes the letter only.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Important only is that that verb will be at second position.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So here we are done. So you have any doubt, you can ask me.
No, nothing till now.
Okay, so do you find anything like you can, if you want to give any review?
I really liked it actually, the way you explained and the slides you've made, they are very much
Yeah,
understandable.
yeah, thank you for that. Okay, let me call. Bye. Hello.
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. Okay, then here we are. Thank you so much, Ms. Akansha, for the lovely demo. And
Yeah,
thanks, Ms. Vaishnavi, for attending. You were a very attentive one today.
Thank you so much. Really, thanks a lot, Akanksha, for the demo.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're welcome. That's my duty, responsibility. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Take care.
Okay, bye bye. Auf
Bye.
Wiederhören.
Auf Wiedersehen.